Hello dear students, how are you? I hope you are doing well. So today again we are here with a new chapter, very interesting chapter, acids, bases and salts. So are you ready guys with this chapter? So first of all, let us see what we are going to study in this chapter. Introduction part, definitely acids and bases we'll discuss. We'll discuss about some natural indicators that we found around us, neutralization reaction, and then we'll discuss what are the applications, that means how this neutralization is helpful in our everyday life. So let us see all these substances and then I'll ask you one question. This is a bottle of vinegar, tamarind, khatti, then we have lemon, some curd, you can see common salt. If I ask you, do they have the same taste? Does this curd or this common salt will have the same taste? This tamarind or this common salt will have the same taste. They have different taste and they'll be used for different purpose also. Let us discuss all these. You might have tasted lemon juice. Is it sour, bitter, or is it having some other taste? Yes, it is sour. When we talk about orange juice, again it is sour. Vinegar, sour. When we talk about curd, a little bit sour. Then when we talk about tamarind, sour in taste. Sugar, sweet in taste. Common salt, salty in taste. Amla, again sour in taste. Baking soda, some salty, some bitter in taste. Grapes, again sour in taste. Unripe mango, kacha aam, again sour in taste. Cucumber is somewhat salty, having some water in it, in taste. So we can say yes, different substances have different taste. So what you are supposed to do, just write all these substances in your copy and write the taste of all these substances. Isn't so interesting? So after this activity, let us move further. When we talk about, as the name of the chapter is acids, bases and salts, so let us discuss all these individually. When I say acid, so I can say all these substances, they have acid in them. This is orange juice, the lemon juice, or the curd we are having, vinegar we are having. All these things we can say that they are having somewhat sour taste and they have acid in it. So in totality, I can say that yes, there are certain important properties of acid. When we talk about acid, we observe that they are sour in taste. Okay? So when we start with this acid, I ask you from where this acid comes from. So since it has sour taste, so it has come from a word, Latin word, acer, which means sour. So since acids are sour in taste and thus it has come from this word, Latin word, and we call them as acid. So very first property, they are sour in taste. Yes, they are soluble in water. We add water to it, they get dissolved completely into it. You take some amount of vinegar from your kitchen with the help of your mom and add in a glass of water. What do you observe? After some time you observe that it get mixed completely. They are good conductor of electricity also. That means they conduct electric current. So they are good conductors. They taste sour because they have acid. And the chemical nature of this substance, we can say that yes, they are acidic in nature. So we call them as acidic in nature. Let us see certain acids found in different substances. So when we talk about vinegar and I ask you what acid do we have in vinegar? It is acetic acid. Yes, it is acetic acid that is found in vinegar. If I ask you what ant has, when ant bites, we observe some irritation, some sensation on the skin where it bites. That is nothing because it injects some acid in our body during its sting, once it's bite. And that acid is nothing but the formic acid, which causes sensation on the skin when it bites. Similarly, citric acid is found in all these citrus fruits. So these are the acids. Let us see few more examples. In curd, we have lactic acid. In these green leafy vegetables, spinach, we have oxalic acid. In amla, we have ascorbic acid. In grapes or unripe mango, we have tartaric acid. Let us talk about bases. So we have discussed just now various examples which are sour in taste, and we say that we have seen and we call them as acids. So one of the very common properties in terms of taste that the substance which is sour in taste is acid. Let us move to bases. And for bases we generally say which are bitter in taste. And it feels something soapy to touch. When we touch this base and we rub that, we observe that yes, it is soapy to touch. As we just touch the paper soap in our hand, or we are using or washing our hand with soap, we observe some soapy feeling that is observed in the case of base. So bases are first bitter in taste, and second they are soapy to touch. And certain examples of bases like milk of magnesia, certain examples soap, shampoos, detergents, this, baking soda, all these substances, they are bases. So on the basis of seeing those different substances, we conclude to some properties of base, and they are first bitter in taste, second feels soapy, that means slippery on touching. Then they conduct electricity, just like acid, they are also good conductor of electricity. Then they are water soluble. The bases that are soluble in water, specifically we call those bases as alkali. So all those water soluble bases, we call them as alkali. Then there are few bases which are insoluble also, and we call them as normal insoluble bases. That means there is no specific name for the bases which are insoluble, but the soluble bases are called alkali. And the nature of such substances, we call them as basic. For acids, we call them acidic. For bases, we call them as basic. Now let us discuss few different bases that are found in different examples. So we have lime water first, that contains calcium hydroxide in it. Then in window cleaner, we have ammonium hydroxide that cleans the window, that is again a base. In soaps, in detergents, we have sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Even in dishwashing also, we have these hydroxides. Milk of magnesia, they contains magnesium hydroxide. So these are different bases that are found in different substances that actually we are dealing in our daily life. But the very important thing is, can we taste all the substances? No, it is very harmful sometimes. So the important thing is, do not taste any such substance that is not advisable or without permission of your parents or your teachers. So we cannot taste any substance to judge whether it is acid or base, because sometimes some acids are very hazardous. So we cannot taste. So now the question is, if we cannot taste, then how we can find the nature of acid or base? How we can come to know that the given substance in front of us is acidic or basic? And for this we are having indicators.
To watch the complete video, download the Upbind educational app from Play Store and App Store.